The Committee on Foreign Relations will come to order. Mr. Secretary, the joint understanding on arms reductions achieved at the summit last week has caused some to question just how important START is and whether it's been superseded. I believe very strongly, and I trust we all do, that the START treaty is crucially important. What we're really interested in is what you have to say and your answers to those questions. I would now turn to the ranking minority member, Senator Lugar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, it's always a pleasure to welcome you to this committee. This is particularly the case today in light of the successes achieved in the Lisbon Protocol, the START agreement, and the pledges for further reductions in strategic arms secured at the recent Washington summit with President Yeltsin. Your leadership in both of these endeavors has been strong. No Secretary of State has worked harder or been more successful in advancing the cause of arms control and arms reduction. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Secretary Baker, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, both you and Senator Lugar, for those comments, and I will try to be responsive to the questions raised in your opening comments. Mr. Chairman, before I begin my presentation on START, I would really like to take this opportunity and take a moment to say a word about something that I know is extraordinarily troubling to all of us, and that's what's going on today. While we reduce nuclear weapons to the minimum levels necessary for ensuring our security, Russia and America, working with our allies and friends, will also engage in what we hope will be a productive dialogue to develop a concept for the deployment of a global protection system against limited ballistic missile attacks on both our peoples and our friends and allies.
To say they will not deposit those instruments.
That has been their preferred position. It is not the preferred position of the United States. We have so told them. It is a question, really, I suppose, of which approach you think will result in seeing Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine sign the NPT quickest.
Well, I think that's a good point, and I will not belabor it, but it seems to me that maybe one of the quickest ways to do that is attach a condition, for they know if they do not sign, they're going to be faced with a 3-to-1 superiority of nuclear weapons from Russia, as opposed to what they'd be faced with otherwise. But at any rate, I'll come back to that. I thank you for your time, and again, congratulations. It's one hell of an agreement.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much. Senator Pressler.
I believe my colleague was here first.
You yield to Senator McConnell. Right.
Then I'll regain my time after this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator Pressler.
Mr. Secretary, with regard to some existing agreements, I'm just curious as to what the status of the Krasnoyarsk radar is.
The Krasnoyarsk has been dismantled, I think. Senator McConnell, down to a certain extent. I mean, the radars have all been taken down and that sort of thing. We agreed, I think you know, at some point during the course of our negotiations over the past couple of years that they would not have to dynamite the foundation. Now I think there are some discussions going on about whether the building, the exterior shell itself, can be used for a non-nuclear weapons purpose. But there have been major steps taken to dismantle what we felt was an illegal radar. And we worked hard on this. It now comes back to me, is that no nuclear weapons or strategic offensive arms will be on their territory at the conclusion of the 7-year period. That to me means all warheads are out of there, and so are bombers and missiles.
If it means that to you, does it also mean it to them?
It means yeah, it means it to them. It's not subject to a separate interpretation. Now let me just make sure I've said it. I know we have it with respect to 2 of the countries. We have it with respect to 3? All 3. All 3. The answer is yes, it means the same to them.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Again, an outstanding agreement.
Thank you very much.
And I'm so glad for your testimony, which helped us a great deal, and wish you well and success.
Thank you very much.